Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Nitrostorm here, welcome back to RevivedWitch. So we're back in my non-free-to-play account and I have raised a couple of characters, recently because, I wanted to change some things up when it comes to PvP. Now, of course, PvP is a game mode that is, normally simple and straightforward, and you've seen me make a video about it regarding teams that you could potentially lose to. But in any case, this is just like an experimental video where you'll see the fruits of my experiments. So without further ado, let's take a look at the PvP team that we're going to be using today. And it's this team. So it's Nannar up front, Ella, and Kamui. So recently, I have leveled up Kamui to passive level 2, Ascend 4, and Nannar to passive level 2, Ascend 4. And if you may have noticed, I did get the battle pass just so you guys don't have to. Firstly, before I move on into any theoretical stuff, let's take a look at their builds. So this is my Nannar. As you can see, I pulled on her unique equipment banner because I felt like, you don't really need it, but in terms of creating this team, she'll become more effective with it. So I'm using her mirror, which is maxed out at level 40 at the moment. Her shield, I gave her some crit stats because, it does help. For the armor, I gave her HP and magic defense. And then for the ring, I would like it if I were to get a magic defense and attack ring, but I don't have one currently. I'll have to pull on the equipment box later. But again, I gave it crit chance and crit damage, and then these are her overall stats. So the main emphasis to give her, good attack and as much magic defense as possible to capitalize on her second passive level 2 and her second skill. Now, the Ella is the least raised out of all of them. She's mainly here for the damage, so that my offense clears are, still relatively decent and more consistent. Now, you can replace Ella for someone else that can heal, which I'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, as you can see, she's only 221, but her equipment, they're okay. Attack and crit chance here, magic defense percent and attack here, and then the crit rate and attack percent with some healing effect on the ring. So, high attack for the first skill, which reduces their physical defense based on Ella's attack. And then last but not least, Kamui. I've raised her, as I've mentioned, to passive level 2, Ascend 4. And then these are her stats. So as you can see, 49k HP. I guess that's a big number for someone without UE. Her weapon, Clotho's Choice, I gave her the higher HP base one, and I gave it crit stats. I'll work on getting HP percent, but that's for another time. My prized possession, probably my robe on her. As you can see, I have max HP rolls on the armor. I managed to get lucky anyway. I didn't need to use many advanced for that. And then last but not least, the necklace, again with crit stats, just because you can crit with her HP scaling attacks. Alright, so now what this team is about is mainly just having a counter-esque team that still has good DPS and good sustain. For example, Nannar has very good sustain with the help thanks to her unique equipment, where she recovers HP when taking damage. And then for Ella, she has regeneration abilities with her passive, so she can self-heal that way. So when it comes to this, I guess your only weakness when it comes to this team could be Kamui, which can be alleviated if I get the equipment box version of this necklace, which gives health and magical defense, because of the passive where I regenerate 10% of max HP every 10 seconds, which would help alleviate the issue of Kamui not having enough sustain or having no self-sustain. Alright. Now, the other replacements that I mentioned for Ella, you could use someone like Tonel, because she gives everyone the healing as well as attack buffs, as well as regen for Chaos Bar, so that our Nannar can use her S2 more often. But, the downside is that you might start to lack in DPS, because Ella still does good damage. And then the second replacement could be Amanami, because she does do good damage when it comes to her unique equipment, and she also heals the team. But again, the reason why I don't use those two for now, I'll make a video on those if you want me to, but for this video, I'll just be using Ella, mainly because on defense, now it doesn't really matter on defense because you'll never know who attacks you and stuff, but when it comes to defense, Ella is obviously going to survive more likely compared to Toenail and Amanami. Now, if you guys got any more questions regarding the comp, do let me know down in the comments, but for now, let's take a look at them in Chronospace Breach. So, let's get all the keys first, and then we'll fight this team for now, and hopefully we come across strong teams. So, I play this team on full auto, and the way that this team works for the most part is that Kamui never actually uses her second skill, which is actually pretty nice, because the team itself doesn't really need healing in the first place. She'll be prioritizing, she is prioritized when it comes to using her order skill, however. So she'll always be creating a shield as well as dealing damage to the frontal enemy unit. And Nannar's second skill is prioritized because Ella's transform is only used once. So after Ella transforms, Nannar's second skill is prioritized on full auto because we don't need Kamui's second skill to heal. And because of that, Nannar's first skill is actually never really used, which is very good for this team. And then obviously Ella's first skill is mainly used only during the burst, I believe. So let's take this for a spin. So as you can see, it'll start off with our Kamui giving a shield. And then after Ella transforms, the next chaos skill will be coming from Nannar, which again dispels everyone and stuff. And there we go. So Akash is now left. And that's about it. So obviously when it comes to offense, the team is going to be clearing slower than your usual team. However, in my opinion, this team has very good sustain, and so I don't think we'll see it struggling anytime soon. So we'll fight this team as well just because, but after this we'll try and find a more suitable opponent. But yeah, we put Nannar up front because that's where people get hit the most to capitalize on her 20% chance with a 2-second cooldown. Now you could argue that I should put Kamui up front, but it's every 5 seconds. And I think when it comes to either AoE or single target, I think it's the best balance for that. So as you can see there, my Kamui nearly died, mainly because of the fact that I mentioned earlier, she doesn't have any self-sustain, but she does do good damage. As you can see, no healing towards herself. Ella has a lot of healing for herself, and then there's the Nannar. So one way to alleviate this could be putting Kamui in the middle when it comes to fighting against single target guys, you know, for now. But I think at the back is best, so when fighting against the single target assassins. But we can experiment by using Kamui in the middle later. So this team is actually pretty good. We have an Ella that is maxed out on her unique equipment, so this should be a fun fight. Alright, so I'll try and commentate this one now. So as you can see, we start off with Kamui's first skill, and then after Ella transforms, we will be using Nannar's second skill, but for the most part, they will only spam Kamui S1 and Nannar S2, and then Nannar S2 automatically activates with a 20% chance of it occurring. So in terms of damage, as you can see, it's not really that high, and we kind of rely on Arcana Burst just to finish them off much quickly, but I think we would still be able to finish them off regardless. Alright, so if you see a single target team again, okay, never mind. So this one's a good example, very good example of fighting against someone that has a very strong Solania team. Mainly because Solania with this comp has a potential to one-shot your team. Well, not the whole team, your potential to one-shot your squishier targets. But for the most part, our team is pretty tanky, so we'll see. And apologies, I forgot to check the damage stats after the battle, which I'll show it from here though. But yeah, so you guys get the point now. As you can see, the Solania actually one-shot my Kamui, which is very unfortunate. So I guess I need to improve on her. Maybe I got lucky. That's pretty interesting though. Why did Kamui take... Wait, Ella didn't take any damage. Was it because she was transforming? Well, I mean, even with that, Kamui still did the most damage, but it was very unfortunate that this occurred. So I guess you could say it's just Ella and Nannar doing all the work, but we'll see. Alright, this one's another fun one. So Ella is maxed out. Toenail's got strong good attack numbers. Oh, and this metamorphosis has gotten the mask. Now this one's pretty interesting, so we'll see how this one goes. I guess you could say one weakness that Kamui has is that because she is a compeller, her max HP, her max base HP isn't as high as, you know, other classes, for example, Destroyer or Guardians. So as you can see, technically speaking, our damage dealt isn't actually that much, right? But in terms of, I guess, dispelling and sustain is pretty good. And then after the Arcana burst is pretty decent in terms of DPS. So let's take a look at the damage again. So okay, Kamui's dealing a lot of damage, surprisingly. Probably because her first skill, I think. I'll try and take a look at that on her review to see how much damage that actually does. Oh, so I was gonna say that this team could have been okay, but the team isn't really geared. But we'll fight it anyway. Just for an example, I guess. So what we need to look for is a team that has either a Fallen that has her unique equipment, or another Nannar that has a unique equipment. I think that 97k came from Kamui. Probably. Okay. Okay, so this one is pretty strong, I think. Well, perhaps. So we'll try it like this. Right, remember last time? This time we'll try Kamui in the middle. Actually, if Kamui's in the middle slot, she won't really take that much damage, especially with this team comp. You know what? Let's just bring it back. Alright, so Kamui might die this time because the Akasha is definitely strong. So I think I already did the HP damage to everyone. It did a decent chunk, but I wouldn't say if it did that much. And there we go. Our Kamui again has been defeated. Alright, so if you take a look at the damage stats again. Oh, okay, so I'm assuming Kamui used her healing, so it did damage to herself. So, you know, pretty unfortunate stuff there. Alright, so this time we're up against a Kepler. We have one more fight left, so I'll try and refresh for a Nannar or a... Ooh. No, or an A Fallen. Alright, one more, come on. I mean, I've got a lot of them anyways. I guess I'll... Oh, I ran out of refresh chances, so it feels bad. I guess we'll just fight... I guess we'll just fight this team to finish it off. So unfortunately, I couldn't find a Nannar and a Fallen. But if you guys want me to find one of those, I'll make another video update in regards to this comp. But experimentally speaking, this team does seem to be pretty good. I think for the time being, I should probably put Kamui in the middle slot, perhaps. But outside of that, after I get the regeneration necklace, then I think Kamui would do fine in the rear slot. But yeah, seems pretty interesting. Okay, that's a lot of damage from Kamui. I'm assuming the burst mode does a lot as well. But yeah, there you have it for my experimental team comp. The team itself is actually pretty decent. I'd say pretty consistent as well. Now, I know that Kamui does get defeated, but Nannar and Ella would do just fine finishing off the opponents. Because normally, Kamui mainly gets defeated when it comes to Akasha and Salania comps. But that might be alleviated once I get some good necklaces. In any case, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, unique spin to PvP with my new comp. Now, was it worth it? I don't know. I mean, I spent like 10,000 souls getting the Nannar unique equipment. So, it's pretty much, I guess, personal opinion. I did it just to see, for some research, and it was a bit interesting, But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you guys got any questions regarding this comp and stuff like that, do let me know. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.